Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Stocks go up, stocks go down, complete madness. So many indicators don't matter. They never have. It's just, it is what it is. What's happening is happening, and let's see what happens, right? I mean, it's just crazy. VIX goes to 30, SPX can't break 3,800. The options yesterday, 5 to 22, then to zero pretty fast. Okay, so this is the market you got. But today, what you want to watch is you want to watch things like NVIDIA. Because SPX is up 30. NVIDIA and stuff held pretty well yesterday. But what I told you what happened is NVIDIA was at 227, and the 235s were 450. It went up to 233, and they only went to 505. And then they closed at 385. Now it's up 3 today, so it should be over $5. If it's not over $5, that's telling you it's taking premium out of everything. Same thing with Tesla. Tesla hit that 163, 164 area and popped 12. So what happens with rates? What happens? Well, this is kind of interesting because why would everybody say they're going to cut if everything's better? Michael Blowy, all these people say, oh, this is already contained, it's done. I mean, you know, I've told you before, I don't trust people in general. The people in general are just not trustworthy, in my opinion. Okay? You don't have to agree or disagree. Okay? So, but think about that. So you're going to trust a bank. Now, they covered the losses in these places, but let's say you had $1 million in one of these banks, and for 3 days you thought you just got killed. So now let's say you have $1 million in all these other small banks. Any bank that's not insured. Let me tell you, if JP Morgan were to fail, they probably don't have enough money to cover it. I'm telling you. Okay, so what does the smarter person do? The smarter person still takes all his money out of all those banks and keeps only 250 grand there. Right? I mean, that's what the smarter person does. That's not what all these people do. I mean, think about Mark Andreessen has 4.2 million there, the guy that started Netscape. If he has to open what, 14, 15, 16 different banks, 17 different banks to move it to all these places. Or if he had any brains, he'd just go buy, $4 million worth of treasuries. I mean, that's as safe as they come. Outside of that, if that fails, then everything fails. Okay? So why did these runs supposedly stop? Doesn't make any sense to me. Okay? And this is all about sense. Okay, this is about you. It doesn't matter. If all you have is 600 grand in your life, you're going to take a risk with 350. Oh, I trust the bank. Now, you've seen what happened. This is the reason the market went up is they're letting you go to the window, the lending window. And if you have a bond that's underwater, they're letting you sell it at par, and they will hold it. So it's basically QE. They're buying all your bonds at par. Wow. $700 billion of bank losses they're eating of all these banks. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay? Interesting. So then we see. So today you have CPI, supposed to be 4% and 6% year over year. If it comes in at 7, what do? I don't know. Does inflation continue to skyrocket? This event in itself, you would think, see, a lot of strange action yesterday. Why was snow up? If snow is a usage charge, now I understand people are going to say, I need to do more with tech, so I need to get automated, blah, blah, blah. That I understand, okay? But here's the thing. If you're the CEO of any of these companies, do you not just say slow all spend down? You walk in and say, don't spend money on anything. No ads, no this, no that, no that, no that, no that. Just don't do anything for a couple weeks. Let's see how it plays out. That's what most CEOs would do. So that's a deflationary environment, right? That's a deflationary environment. Everything comes lower, in theory. Then we see. Okay? Wow. Interesting. Okay. So that's what we got. That's what we got. Let me go see CPI. Carl Icahn was in and sounded like Sam. A lot of bad companies, bad management. Boards, you can lose up to $50 billion in shareholder value and still think they're okay. Yes. It's amazing to me. The whole thing was amazing to me. So, but here's the thing: you cannot just think we're going to go way down and go way up. Okay? Everybody says, "Oh my God, the VIX is going to go. VIX is going to go." Okay. Now, one other thing I'll tell you: 2 times this year, 2023, SPX has been up 30. Going into one of these numbers like the jobs or CPI, one of them. And we're down 50 within 5 minutes. 2 times. Interesting. Okay? That's what we know. The banks are all up today. Goldman Sachs way, way, way higher. This thing came from 256. It can go to 230. If it goes to 230, if they think things are okay, doesn't mean they're okay. It just means it can pop to 230. Just got to know that. JP Morgan way up. Now, the thing nobody's telling you, there's, trillions and trillions of dollars in the banking system. There's not enough money to guarantee the banks. So what will they do? Do they put a 1% tax, 1% on all the banks to generate, in 10 years, there'll be enough money to cover it? That's a massive amount of tax. Maybe. Very possible. Okay? And does the Fed stop? Maybe. But do they fix inflation? I don't know. Here's what I know is if inflation comes in low today, then they can stop and they can possibly cut. I think somebody, Nomura last night came out and said they're going to cut this time. Wow. Maybe. But why are you going to cut if it's contained? That means there's something else inside there that's not contained. Okay? So that's what we know. So chill and wait. We'll see what happens. I would have thought we would have went lower this morning. But it seems like they think everything is over and it's fixed. Okay. It's okay. Then we see. Okay? Okay. SPX is up 26, 25. That puts it at 3880. 3880. So what do you got? You got 3892, 3909, 3932, 3951 becomes a big number. Okay? Downside, 3800 round number, 3781, 3752. NVIDIA, 238, 244 accelerator, under 227. Land Research, 491, 509 accelerator, underneath 451. JP Morgan, 136. Pan W, 188, 192. CMG, 1609. Last meal, CMG. Interesting. Goldman Sachs, 326, 318. Meta, 188. Snowman, 141, 146. MDB, 209, 191. NOW, 432, 444, underneath 410. Now, here's the thing, like NOW and all these. They're not moving like they used to move. There's no 15-point days and up 30 for the week, the range for the week. So you have to be closer to the money, but they haven't taken all those premiums lower. Like now, you should be able to get the 420s at $2. And if he doesn't give them to you at $2 when it's at 415, it's unplayable. Don't overpay. It doesn't move. Netflix, 306, 309. Microsoft, 258, 262. Baidu. Tomorrow is the 15th. I believe the 16th they're supposed to release the chatbot. So does this pop to 141 tomorrow? Very possible. Very interesting. Let's see. Tesla, 172, 163, 183, 191. First Solar, trying to break down, but it's up 3 today. Underneath 200, we'll start. That's what we know. Bitcoin, huge pop. I mean, when the dollar comes down like that, Bitcoin goes up. Let's see what happens. SPX up 31. We'll see. 7:30. Thanks, everybody. See you on chat.